This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Blues Focus podcast, where I'll be taking you through the action that unfolded against Rexam on Monday, as well as the preview for the game against Rotherham United on Saturday at the New York Stadium. And there's so much optimism at Blues, isn't there, at the moment, with the 3-1 victory over Rexam in the Hollywood derby and all the fan furore about that, and the social media presence of what happened, and the amount of figures we're getting. And Sky Sports' highlights package of the game, I think, is on about 215,000 views at the moment, which is just ridiculous, isn't it, for us? And we really realised the potential of St Andrews in that game and what kind of atmosphere we can conjure up there, and the belief that really translated from the stands to the pitch as well, because obviously we did concede early on, Jack Marriott scoring the goal after around 2-3 minutes, but as soon as Stansford got the equaliser, our fortunes did really change, and the crowd were so up for it, and it was just an atmosphere that will live long in my memory, and I'm sure the memory of all the Birmingham fans that were in attendance and watching on TV as well. But I mean, to be around the ground at the start of the game, just a fantastic atmosphere and everybody on the same page. And hopefully we can carry forward this momentum through to the Rotherham game on Saturday at the New York Stadium, because I'm sure it's going to be a tough game, but then again, we have got to believe in ourselves and what we've done already this season, because we're coming into this fixture off the back of 4 successive victories in the league. I mean, the last time we got 5 successive victories in the league was the Premier League in December 2009. So a very long time ago, and hopefully we can write some new history, which I'm sure the board, the players and the staff will be looking to do. And with Tom Huddleston now a new first team coach, there's a different, I guess, brain involved in the decision making and the processes behind what goes into the starting 11 and the bench. But yeah, I'm confident for the Rotherham game, and albeit the absence of Christian Bielik, who did get himself sent off in that scuffle towards the end of the Wrexham game, but it will be Ben Davis likely that comes in, because from Chris Davis's notes before the game, it looks like Dion Sanderson is still further away from returning to starting 11 action because he's still out injured, and Lee Buchanan's apparently a bit further forward. But Alex Cochrane, I mean, he's been superb at left back, isn't he? Lee Buchanan was one of those shining lights in a pretty dark season for Blues last season, but Alex Cochrane's done so well at left back, and that cross against Rexham where it landed right on Stansford's head, I'm sure that Blues fans will be watching that over and over again this week, much like I did. But in terms of the starting 11 for the Blues game against Rotherham, I think it will still be Peacock Farrell in goal. There's a lot of question marks about Peacock Farrell, and I said this before the international break, and obviously with that game against Wrexham where he could have been a bit stronger from the corner, I do kind of understand some fans' frustrations with him, but I wouldn't do anything too drastic with the goalkeepers in this situation, especially because we are still winning games, but we are looking for that elusive clean sheet this season. Right back, Gardner-Hickman did do pretty well, didn't he, in the game against Wrexham? Obviously, there's going to be that competition between him and Samstead, with Ethan Laird still out injured. So it'd be interesting to see what he does there, but I imagine he'll stick with Taylor Gardner-Hickman. Ben Davis as a centre-back, like I mentioned before, alongside Christophe Clara, who has been superb, hasn't he? I mean, against Wrexham, he was always playing like a right winger, wasn't he? Even though centre-back. And left back is Alex Cochrane, as I said before, been superb so far. 2 holding midfielders, Paik Sung Ho, been superb, hasn't he? Really underrated in the team. And the Birmingham admin put out a tweet saying, we don't underrate this guy, we really do rate this guy, because the control that he has in the midfield next to Tomoki Iwata, who I imagine will keep his place in the team, because them two were superb on Monday, weren't they? The control that they had, the passing range that they've got, the pressing, interceptions, it really was a complete performance, wasn't it? And the forward options, we're seeing Alfie May drop a bit deeper, aren't we? And Stansfield being that number 9, and I'm sure that's a configuration that will sort itself out further on towards the season. But for now, it seems to be getting results, and short term it's fine, but long term, I still don't know whether Alfie May and Jay Stansfield can coexist, but I'm really just hoping that I'm proved wrong. Through the middle, Williamson has been good, hasn't he? He's someone that offers that height in our forward line, because we don't have many forward players that are pretty tall. I mean, obviously you've got Lyndon Dykes coming off the bench, but Williamson offers that really physical threat, doesn't he, with winning balls in the air, and he's really technical as well, technically gifted for a player of his size. It's almost strange, isn't it, to see someone that tall that's so good with the ball at their feet. And on the other side, Emil Hansen, although he's not really got the figures as such to back up his performances, I still think he's been positive in the way that he drives the defenders and the skills that he's got. So I would persist with Hansen on the other wing, and up top, Jay Stansfield, Alfie May, whatever it is. I just hope they score the goals, because as for Stansfield, it's his 50th appearance against Rotherham. Not against Rotherham, but against other teams wearing the Birmingham City shirt. And for Alfie May, top goal scorer in League One last season, he's yet to score against Rotherham, actually. So this could be the game where he breaks his duck against the Millers. And before the game, we spoke to Matt from New York Talk to get the lowdown on Rotherham's situation and where his head's at in terms of the shaky start to the season they've had so far.
The season so far has been pretty underwhelming. Also, when you get relegated, you expect to start winning a few games, put in some good performances. The minimum kind of some good performances against teams that obviously aren't as good as you were last season. That hasn't really played out at all. Huddersfield, we won and we're the better team. Obviously, at the time, Huddersfield had won all 3 games coming into that, so we kind of felt like that we'd turned a corner a little bit, and there was a positive mood around the place. And we then went to Charlton and picked up a good point away at Charlton, which is a tough place to go. We then came back home, and Burton come to New York Stadium. You're sort of thinking, okay, they've not won. We're 2 games unbeaten. We can build a little bit of something here, and it just kind of went backwards a little bit. Burton could argue that they should have won that game. We haven't been very good so far this season. Steve Evans, when he came in, it brought a bit of positivity because of what he did last time. The signings in the summer again brought a bit of positivity, but as soon as the season kicked in, from about 10 minutes in, the feel-good factor went. Lost away at Exeter, lost away at Wickham, drew 0-0 of a really, really poor Bristol Rovers side. We're still waiting for our season to really, really start. Part of the problem with that is our setup. You know, you guys and a lot of the guys will ask us, how are Rotherham playing? What's the setup? I don't really know, to be honest with you. There's a little bit of classic Steve Evans where it's direct. That is happening a lot. The good Steve Evans times at sides when he was here last time was, yes, we were direct, but there was pace within the team. We were putting good balls into the box. The guys that were receiving the balls box were really, really good. We're not really seeing that at all. It's just long ball after long ball a little bit at the minute. It's really, really frustrating to watch at the minute. If you guys, and this goes for a lot of the top teams in this division, if you turn up against us at the minute with the way we've been playing, you'll win pretty comfortably. Obviously, but at any point, again, this is the thing with Steve Evans. He could turn up, his teams could turn up at literally any point. We could turn up on Saturday and win relatively comfortable because we've turned up. I wouldn't put any money on that, but that is absolutely a possibility. I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be really, really tough, and I can't see us winning. I think my prediction is a 2-1 victory for Birmingham, but I think it'll be quite a comfortable 2-1, if you kind of know what I mean. I think it'll be, I think it'll be comfortable. But the scoreline will maybe flatter us a little bit. But
and that was Matt from New York Talk. He doesn't sound too optimistic, does he? I suppose the predictions that Rotherham had at the start of the season were one of the promotion favourites, weren't they? With Steve Evans coming in, with all them early signings that they got, a very experienced dressing room, but things don't really seem to be clicking for them at the moment, with 1 win in 6 league games, with that 1 win coming against Huddersfield, who were down to 10 men for the last bit of their game. And with Burton, they were pretty unlucky actually not to win against Rotherham, because they did create a lot of chances, and Rotherham were kind of hanging on a bit. And Steve Evans, I'm sure before the game, he's going to come out with some sort of quotes, because he's already called us Real Birmingham. So I'm sure the players and the staff won't be paying too much attention to what Steve Evans has to say before the game. But we know what kind of game plan they're going to arrive with their long balls and their direct approach, physicality, really trying to get under their skin, kind of similar to the approach that Rexam took. But I'm just hoping that our footballing quality prevails in the end, and we can, play him off the park to get a win, because I'm yet to see that emphatic win that a lot of people were predicting in League One. And I imagine that's because the players are still kind of gelling together. But at the end of the day, with the attacking quality we've got, I'd back us to score against any team in League One. So I'm hoping for that clean sheet, hoping for a goal, hoping for a win. I'm going pretty conservative in a 1-0 win, but all that matters is the 3 points, really, and that progression that will hopefully get us back to the Championship and top of League One, because we are getting behind a lot of teams in League One. And with Rexam, with a game in hand, hopefully we can overtake them in no time soon. So, yeah, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe to the video. Thank you again for watching, and make sure to leave your predictions in the comments section below of what you think the score of the game is going to be. We have 1 loss in 10 against Rotherham, so I'm hoping that it won't be 2 losses in 11 going forward in terms of our good record against them. But yeah, thank you for watching the video, and most importantly, keep Rotherham.